Merry meet my fairy souls, it is Niina, you're watching Fairy Chamber channel and welcome back to the Zodiac myths. And today I'm going to talk to you about the Scorpio. The constellation of Scorpio that was known in the ancient world. It was known by the Babylonians and by the Egyptians. And Egyptians, they connected the Scorpio constellation to the goddess Selk. And Babylonians and the Greeks, they knew this constellation already in the late 6th century, so this is an old story. First of all the Greek people who watch this, if I pronounce these names totally wrong, I apologize. Native Finnish speaker here. I can only say Efkaristo and Kalimera. Yes, this story is connected to one of my favorite Greek goddesses, that is Artemis, who rocks. This story is about a giant Orion and how he was born and what kind of life he lived. So it starts from the town of Hyria, where there was a local hero called Hyrios. And this was the time when all these pagan gods, they could disguise themselves as humans and they walked among humans. And this is very, very common in all myths around the world. This is a universal myth that gods could disguise themselves as humans. You can find this from Baltic mythology, Greek mythology, Finnish mythology, African mythology, everywhere. But it's really interesting. So there was two people who came to Hyrios and asked for shelter, and these were Zeus and Poseidon, none less, and Hermes. Hyrios, he entertained his three guests and they really enjoyed his company, and Hyrios, he sacrificed one of his oxes for his guests to eat. And soon these gods, they find out that Hyrios, he really wanted to have a son, but he was childless. So what they did, they took this pile of meat of ox, dead ox, and the gods, they urinated to the ox. And they told Hyrios to bury the meat. And 9 months later, a gigantic infant found its way out from the ground, and it was Orion the giant. Orion is also known as the Great Hunter. His legend is connected to Iceland of Crete and also to this whole Iceland of Aegean Sea. Like, he's connected to the sea very much because in a way he is son of all three gods. He's son of Zeus, he's son of Poseidon, and he's son of Hermes. So he is like a very powerful creature, and he's especially connected to Poseidon. There are lots of stories about Orion, and according to one legend, because he had this strong connection to Poseidon, he could walk upon water. Another thing that was later adopted to another religions. There's one myth that he could walk upon the seabed and his head would be like above the waves. One day Orion arrived to Chios, which was a place that was ruled by Oenopion, who was a son of Dionysus, the god of wine. This island, it was very fertile and there were like grape vines growing everywhere. But it happened that Orion and Oenopion, they did not get along. There was huge fight between them. According to some legends, Orion was pursuing Oenopion's wife, and according to other legend, he was pursuing his daughter Merope. Oenopion, he did something that was very common for his father to do. He got Orion very drunk and then he plucked his eyes, and then Orion, he woke up from the seashore and he was blind. He managed to find his way to a forge of a blacksmith, and then he managed to convince this blacksmith called Gedalion to guide him. So this young guy, he climbed to his shoulders and made him guide him towards the rising sun. And then the moment when the sun rays touched his eyes, Orion, he got his eyesight back. And then he went on his way to destroy Oenopion, but Oenopion, he was saved by Poseidon, who managed to guide him into a subterranean chamber where Orion could not reach. Then we come to the connection between Artemis and Orion. There are many versions of this myth. There's one story that tells that Orion, he was part of the hunter group of Artemis because Artemis was the hunter goddess, and she respected his hunting skills, and one day he tried to rape her and she killed him. There is another story that Orion, he fell in love with a human, and gods really resented this and they sent Artemis to kill him. In 200 BC, Istros, the Greek writer, he wrote his own version of the story, and according to him, Artemis was in love with Orion, but Apollo, the twin brother of Artemis, killed Orion because he did not want his sister to be together with the giant. But this myth, it comes from Hellenistic age, which itself was very patriarchal, and from a time period when Greek women didn't really have that many rights. And the more further you go in Greek mythology, the more clear it comes that Artemis only had affairs with women. Then we go back in time to the early poem of Hesiod, and he tells a poem that has astronomical meaning, and it's a story of Orion, how he got killed by a Scorpio. This is a story from Crete, and according to that, Artemis, who often had male companions while hunting without having any kind of erotic relationships with them, she was hunting with Orion, and Orion was boasting that he could kill every single creature on the earth. But the Earth Mother, I suppose, Gaia, she heard this and she sent a giant Scorpio, which bit Orion and killed him. Scorpio is a water sign and it is ruled by Mars. Scorpios, they can be very self-motivated. Sometimes they can be very sinister and very aggressive. That is the story of Scorpio. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel to hear more stories from Greek mythology and around the world. Share this video with your friends and family if you liked it, and I will see you soon. Take care and bye bye. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you are interested to learn more about animal myths and stories from the north, I have a course called People of the Bear, which is all about the bear worship in ancient Finland and different parts of the world. There are stories about bear as a celestial being and the way the bear was honored as a sacred ancestor. If you're interested, head over to my website fairychamber.com. Link is also in the description. Have a great day and make good choices. Bye!